afternoon, cult members, and welcome to Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
I'm talking with my hands again. I'm excited. Here is our trailer reaction for Morbius. I don't know how I feel about this movie. We've talked about it in the past. It's been delayed a bunch of times, and then what just happened in Venom. So here we go, Morbius, and go. Marvel Legend?
You need a doctor? I am a doctor.
I'm just in rough shape.
Slow, I'm just slow.
People all over the world have my disease.
From here, to find a cure, we have to push the boundaries, take the risks. If you're gonna run, do it now.
Run.
Dr. Michael Morbius, you've been missing for 2 months. Then you were found on a container ship that washed up off of Long Island.
Long Island.
Very Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do to yourself, Doctor?
I wish I knew.
That's never
You see,
a
there were
good sign.
bats, and then
I went from dying
blood.
to being more alive than ever.
It worked. Jared Leto's workout routine.
Increased strength and speed. Some form of bat radar. What else can I do?
That? Yeah.
Oh!
I can
fly. I can fly.
There's something inside of me. It wants to hunt and consume blood.
Michael.
I do like that shot. January, huh?
I don't know.
Half the city wants to kill you.
Daily Bugle.
We haven't had anything this good since that thing in San Francisco.
What thing in San Francisco?
Dr. Mike,
Hmm?
I should stay in touch.
It's Batman. And talking to
Anything to save a
Batman.
life. But I don't know what I'm capable of.
You save lives, you don't take them. Are you here to heal the world? Or to destroy it?
Both? Moriarty.
Can we do both? Ugh.
Who the hell are you, man?
I know. I'm just kidding. It's Dr. Morbius at your service.
Okay.
I have watched this already, but I watched somebody else's breakdown of it, so I'm going to steal some of their notes because I absolutely know nothing about this character.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And so there's a couple of things that they were talking about, like him going to a far-off land to heal himself is very Doctor Strange. He's got echolocating that's very Daredevil. He's got all the gifts of being a vampire, but none of the weaknesses outside of the blood, which is very Blade. So, kind of hints of other Marvel characters, but they were saying, it was Straw Hat Goofy on TikTok, he was saying it's essentially what the character is in the comic.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, to be fair, there are a lot of comic book characters out there. The comic books have been around for quite a long time. So there's only so many powers that you can have.
Right.
So
right.
it's going to all start to kind of bleed
And some of them
over
have the same
otherwise.
name.
Right.
Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel.
America.
We're just going to change our Captain Marvel to Shazam.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start with this and say, or it's continue on with my thought by saying, I really like Jared Leto.
Yes.
I really like him as
Yes.
an actor.
I do too.
As a person, he's wackadoodle.
He's just a little, I wouldn't say he's wackadoodle. He's just,
eccentric.
I mean, I guess there was some crazy things that he did on Suicide Squad
Yeah.
that people were like, but yeah, I think he might just have a social disorder.
That's completely legit. But he was at some like commune off the grid thing when COVID happened, and he came back to the world. He's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
He was
Like,
actually,
he's like-
he was like living out in the middle of the desert or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
and
yeah.
came back in, a month after COVID started and the world was ending. But yeah, so a lot of stuff I remember from the previous trailer that we got
Right,
50
right.
million years ago. Some new stuff, but not really anything that's telling you too much more than what you already
of what the story is.
yeah, it's just kind of building on the stuff you already know. He's kind of got these bat powers. We got to see him fly this time, which I know that was a question in my mind. I don't
Yeah.
remember if I said it out loud last
Yeah.
time, but yeah, if he's a bat, can he fly? So
And I like the way they introduced it with he can fly, but it's more of controlling the airflow.
Yeah.
Than
Yeah,
it is
it's not
actually
like he's flapping
his
wings, it's more
and
of
stuff.
a- yeah.
yeah, like maybe like
like a
Hawkman or
sonic kind of
Yeah. Which I
powering
like. I like
the
that.
wind.
That's kind of a cool,
fun,
and I like
yeah.
the way that it kind of distorted the screen to show that the wind was there, and he could kind of bounce off of it and
yeah.
manipulate it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We got Michael Keaton again as Vulture. They haven't said he's Vulture, but it's Vulture from the MCU. So it's
Right, he's the connective tissue between this and the Sony Spider-Man universe, and then like you said, Venom, was kind of floating around out there, and then the mid-credit scene tied that all in.
Right,
so
right,
now
right.
Sony is looking like it's building its own little empire.
And it's very interesting because Sony's been trying to do this since Far From Home. Homecoming.
Yeah.
When they made the decision to say, yes, let's team up with Marvel.
Right.
But we want to have our own Spider-Man verse over here.
Yep.
And their one to start there was Venom.
Yep.
Because Venom's highly popular in the comics. I don't get it. It's fine. It's not not every character is for every person. I just don't understand the Venom comic for me. So when they started with Venom, and we were lackluster on the movie.
Yeah.
We really liked the second one, I think.
Yeah.
When they announced their next big project for this Spider-Man villain universe, Morbius was the one that they picked.
Yeah.
And everybody was like...
Yeah.
And it...
But that's a Marvel thing. They kind of did, I mean, you got Iron Man was the first one they started with, and Iron Man in the comics was a pretty low key.
He was like a D level.
I was going to give him
guy.
a B, but okay.
But that was the
So-
reason they went with that one is because it's the one they had the complete rights to. They didn't have
Yeah.
to share them with anybody
Yeah.
else. So I kind of understood that decision. Them deciding to do Guardians, I think, was a bigger risk.
Yeah.
because they'd already set up their universe.
But you have I think it's easier to do those less like look at the issues that have been around Superman, right? And even from the beginning,
Yeah.
like this isn't my Superman because I read the comics when I was a kid in the 50s or whatever.
Right.
You're never going to live up to everybody's expectations. Where if you pull some like Guardians, some random, characters and put them all together and make a story, people are a lot less likely to be.
There's a lot-
This isn't my comic book character.
There's a lot lower expectations with that.
Right,
And I
right.
think with this one, I think that what we were talking about here, I think that's kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
This is a very, now I won't say obscure, but it's a lower level, it's a second tier Spidey villain.
Right.
And I think he's kind of like Venom, where he's kind of sometimes a good guy, sometimes
Yeah,
a bad guy.
that's kinda what it seemed like
That's
from
kinda
this,
how it
yeah.
feels like they're trying to set this up.
Almost a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, which I'm open for that.
Yeah.
I'm open for that kind of different kind of storytelling within the superhero genre.
Yep.
Do a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, him trying to figure out his powers, and then him ultimately going to be in some kind of version of the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
They're setting it all up. We've got Venom and that mid-credit scene of what happened there. We have No Way Home. What we know we're getting Doc Ock. We know we're getting Green Goblin. Vulture's out there. So we know, and they're working on Kraven for the Sony Spider-Man universe and stuff like that. So, like, there's a lot of groundwork laid out, and I found it interesting that this is now coming out after Far From Home, because Far From Home was supposed to be after. This was supposed to be first.
Before.
This was supposed to be last
Which means
summer.
that it doesn't really tie in. It's not going to tie in. And if they do an end credit scene, they'll tie it into the next thing.
Yeah. So them making a point of like saying Venom in there and stuff like that was kind of interesting. A couple little things I also heard today. One time through the trailer, not really paying attention. Oscorp building is in the background. I think it's the Hoover building. It started with an H. Hudson building. Hudson Corporation. Peter Parker goes and I think it's Hudson goes and works. Be nice in the comments. I can hear the rage typing right now. Is the corporation that Peter goes and works for as a scientist, and then becomes the CEO of that company in the comic, and so that building is in there.
That's cool.
And then there's a shot of Michael walking down the street, and in the background on the back wall, I'm going to try to put my hand up so you can actually see my hand. The back wall is the splash screen for the Spider-Man PS4 game. It's the action, and it says, and it's spray painted over top of it. It says "murderer."
Oh, nice.
So it's the shot. It's the actual shot, not a kind of close kind of. No, it's the actual shot from the game.
Yeah, sure.
So
Why not?
I have this idea of what's going on with the Spider-Man stuff, and I really feel with the No Way Home that they're going to introduce Miles as the Spider-Man for one of these two universes. We're going to keep either Peter's going to come to this universe, or we're going to have Miles in this universe, and they're going to kind of play with that idea of we can have two Spider-Men because it's two different universes.
Yeah,
you got the multiverse, so it'd be interesting if that would be we get Miles in the MCU and we get Peter here. It'd be fun. So you can have two different versions of Spider-Man and representation, and Miles is just awesome. So, anything else?
No.
Special effects look pretty good for a trailer.
Yeah.
They've had a while to
it looks
work on
good.
it. So
we're excited. We'll see. I mean, I liked it from what I saw, but,
yeah, we'll see what the reviews are. Let us know what you thought of this trailer reaction and our thoughts and comments to it in the comments down below. Like I said, please be nice. We're still learning from the comic point of view a lot of these characters, so we're getting there. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, follow us on all the social media stuff, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Links are in the description down below. And until next time, cult members, good afternoon, good evening, and good night now.